Hi there, and welcome to this webinar on tiered pricing. Now, whether you have sort of given tiered pricing much thought, or perhaps you haven't and you're just wondering what it's all about, then hopefully when we go through this webinar, a lot of your questions will be answered. You can always get in contact with us here at Shortcuts. You can call our main number, which is 1300 667 374, or you can email us as well at success, that's SUCCESS, at shortcuts.com.au. And we can book in a time and we can have a bit of a chat further about it. But I will go through some of the benefits about it and how it's set up, how that looks to your clients in regards to online booking as well. So first of all, we'll have a look at a few of the benefits. Now, you can attract a broader clientele by offering a wider price range. So, if you charge a single price throughout the whole team, then usually sort of how that's done is you'll have a look at your competitors and price yourself accordingly, sort of within the demographics and salons of your area. Now, when you have tiered pricing, of course, you can have a price variance throughout the team, with your emerging stylist being the cheapest, and usually it's the salon owner that's the most expensive. But that does mean that you open yourself up to a broader range of clients because you're picking up a much wider price point. So that's one benefit of your tiered pricing. We have those annual increases as well each year, which can be a little bit scary because we worry that maybe we're going to price some clients out and you're going to lose some clients, and we don't want that to happen. We want to keep hold of those clients that do enjoy coming in, and they've been coming in for a while, but obviously with prices increasing, for you do have to increase those in the salon as well. So perhaps you have a level that a client comes in at. Let's just take hairdressing, for example. So you have a senior stylist. The pricing goes up. They can't afford that anymore. They're not sure about paying that anymore, but they do love coming to the salon. Then they can come and see someone at the lower level, the level below, which is perhaps stylist. So you're not losing them from the salon. They also have that benefit over going somewhere else, that you have all their notes, that the person that they're used to seeing is also on the floor there to give advice to the new stylist that they're seeing. So there are those benefits to the clients, that they don't need to go somewhere else that sort of fits their budget. I mentioned about the emerging stylist being the cheapest and the owner being the most expensive. That ties in with a lot of the benefits there. The experience, the skill level, and the performance. KPIs as well. So you can price that according to their level of experience and skill. Because what you do find in a salon is if everyone's charging the same price, our clients then can come in and choose between an emerging stylist and someone that's been doing hair for 20 years, but there's no price difference between the two. They tend to go for the person with the most experience, which means that the salon owner can end up being the most busy with the least gaps, which means they're not focusing on the business as much as they should be. They feel, maybe you feel like you're the busiest one, and you pay these staff and they're not as busy, and it's hard to pass the clients over to them. So we need to encourage that by making it a little bit more worthwhile for the clients as well, that they will be paying a little bit less, but like I said before, they've got you on the floor. It also is good for sort of progression within the business for your team members. They can see, if you link these levels to KPIs and they hit their KPIs regularly, then they can move up to the next level, which means that they're charging more. It's better for you, and they're also earning more, which is better for them. There's also that little bit of a prestige, I guess you could say, where they're moving up to a level or a position name that is a little bit better for them. In terms of yourself, the business owner, hopefully, if you can release some of those clients to your lower levels, it just does mean that you have more time to focus on the business. And that is one of the main things that we do here here at Shortcuts is business owners just not having the time to focus where they need to. Social media and marketing is a really big thing. It takes some time to devote to that. Putting into plan your strategies for the year as well. So freeing up that time that you're not spending the whole weekend, still on the business as well. You get some time to yourself. Also, to prevent your team from becoming, I guess, a little bit, I don't want to say the word, I will say stale, but it's good for everyone to have new clients. So when someone is too busy that they cannot fit in new clients, maybe they're so busy that they're squeezing clients in, which means that the experience may be suffering for the clients because they're being squeezed in with the person that they need to see. Really we should be raising those prices because we don't want someone so busy that they're struggling to fit people in and they're struggling even just to get new clients in as well. So there are, like I said, a lot of benefits to the tiered pricing. So I will just go through Shortcuts and how we set that up. So if we just close this down, so we'll just end our little slide there. One of the things that you may want to do if you have online booking and you implement the tiered pricing is in your settings in your console. So if you go to your console and it's your center tile there, the online booking settings, and we scoot about 2/3 of the way down, you've got some options here. You may want to show the pricing and probably the employee levels as well, so they can see that who they're booking in with. So have those two ticked on. Also, you want your clients to be able to choose between anyone that's available and also an individual as well. They may want to choose who they're booked in with. So just make sure you have any and individual ticked on for your online booking. So I'm just going to move into our demo database and I'll just get this to fill the screen there. Okay. So as you can see at the top, we've got our team members and there are a couple of colors in there at the moment. The colors do represent specific levels. So you can see from the appointment book at a glance that's color coded for your levels. If we do tap on the employee, we get a window that pops up and you can see here that the level is stylist. So that's for Anna and Helen will be stylists. And if I click on Katie, you can see here that Katie is the emerging stylist and we have their capabilities in there as well. Sometimes we have our, apprentice on there in their final year and they can do specific colors, blow dries. So, anyone that's making a booking in-house can see, who they are and what capabilities are there as well. In terms of just touching on the apprentices and maybe your emerging stylists, they're new on the floor, that they may need longer to conduct their service. Maybe it's a full head of foils, long hair blow dry. Maybe they just need a little bit longer than the rest of the team. So as well as tiered pricing, we can have tiered sort of timing as well. Now, if you do want to have the timing turned on, so if you have the timing enabled and you want to be able to move an appointment from one column to the other and it automatically adjusts itself to the timing that's correct for that level, you just need to jump into the back end of your shortcuts. So I'm just going to touch on that because I don't want to forget to do that. So we're going to go down to the bottom right and just tap on setup and then configuration. Over on the left-hand panel, we come down to the bottom left and we click on general. And then we tap on appointment book just there on the left. We have our list here on the left-hand side, and we can just see that it says resized, moved appointments to match employee level. So that's just down there, second from that sort of that main list. So resize, make sure that that's ticked, and then we'll go into tap on done, and then done, and then that's done for you. Setting up your levels. Now we need to go into the employees first of all. So we'll jump into employees. Down at the bottom, we have a bunch of options, and over towards the right-hand side, we have one there that says levels, just down there at the bottom. So I'm just going to tap on levels. We can open up. I've got a few that are set up already. So we have our apprentice level. We've got a receptionist in there as well. We have emerging stylists and stylists. So I'm just going to add in here a senior stylist. So we're going to tap on new. And done. And then we can have a color as well. So I'm just going to choose blue and then click on done. Okay, now who are we going to make a senior? So we're just going to go to Sarah. So Sarah at the moment, she has a level, so you can see that over on the left-hand side, which is set to default. So that's the default pricing. We're just going to scoot down and go to senior. So Sarah is now a senior stylist. I'm going to hit save. And there was one more in the book. It wasn't Helen, Katie, Lucy. Lucy is now a senior as well. And we'll just hit save and then done. So you can see now that they've got the blue line at the top. Now over to the right-hand side again, we're going to go into our service menu. And I'm going to open up highlights. And we have a quarter head of highlights. So we want to adjust the timing and pricing for our highlights to fit in with this, this model. So we're just going to select quarter head highlights. Now down at the bottom, there's an option that says details with the 3 dots there. So I'm just going to hit that. And in the middle, we have the name of the blocks and the timing and the pricing. So you can see for level, it says default. And this is our default price and timing. Now, if the majority, you might just have 1 or 2 people that are a little bit different to the rest of the salon. So you just leave everyone else at defaults. And anyone that's not default, you would just set them up in here with their level. Just for you to be aware, in terms of online bookings, this is quite important, and you have the pricing that shows in your online booking. The pricing that shows in online booking initially, before anyone is actually selected, any team member is selected, will always be your default. So your quarter head highlights, for example, in your online booking, when a client goes in there, it would say priced from $75. It's only when the service is allocated to a specific team member that the pricing will then update. So it will update for them and they will know how much they're paying before they complete that online booking. But we're going to just hit on default. Now, just going to go to emerging stylist for our quarter head. And what you'll see is that the timing changed. So I set this up earlier. So if you do want the time to be longer or shorter for a specific level, then you can just update the time under that level and then the price as well. And then we've got our stylist who's just going to charge the default price. So we don't need to do any change there. And then we have our senior. And our senior, we're going to just change that price a little bit. So I'll put in there 95. Then we can just come down to the bottom and click done. And you would just do the next one as well. So down to details at the bottom. Only going to update the senior. And then we come in for the price. And we'll say 125. And then that's done as well. So we just go through doing that for each of them. remembering that the default is what we're seeing here on this screen before we go in. So don't expect this to change if if you're only updating a particular level. It will always show the default on this screen. So remember that this is the price that's going to be showing on your online booking when they initially go in there. We can just update the cuts as well. So if we go in for a cut, just do a ladies style cotton blow dry. And we'll do senior. And we'll say that the senior is 110. And then we'll tap on our emerging stylist. Perhaps they need a little bit longer. So I'm going to give them 60, but the price will stay the same. And we hit done. Now, how does that look in our appointment book? So let's just go to tomorrow. Let me just pop this on our full day. There we go. Now, Katie's our emerging. So let's go to our emerging stylist. We'll book in at 10 o'clock. Just going to book myself in there. I'll have a highlights. So pop our tag in. We're going to go with a quarter. Ladies cuts. She's not capable of doing the full ladies cuts, which is why that's showing there. So that's a setting that's turned on in the back. That's fine. Let me just press done for a second. Now that's just booked in with a finish because that's what it does. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines there. So we have an hour and 15 minutes. Oh, I just stretched that out. There we go, an hour and 15. Now, if I move this over to Lucy, that is now shrunk down. If I move that back to Katie, that then resizes itself for a little bit longer. So it's automatically doing that for you as it moves from column to column. In terms of pricing as well, so I'm just going to reschedule this back to today because I need to be able to just pop this through. So let's just go to checkout. So that's in with Sarah at the moment at 95. Now, if I update the employee, and we'll say that this is now in with Katie, the pricing just dropped down to 75. So even if you don't have it in the correct column in the appointment book, and you do update the employee here at the point of sale, it will also update the pricing here as well. Now, in terms of your online booking, so I'm just going to move that down there. We have our online booking here. Let me just refresh this because I just updated the pricing. So you can see that the timing is showing along with the pricing there. So that is our default, like I said. So we're just going to select that. Now we do require additional services with this. So I'm going to say lady style cotton blow, which is priced from 90. So there's our pricing on the right-hand side. Now, if I update any of these, so let's go in with Sarah. It's now updated the pricing there on the right-hand side. I'll just do the same for the quarter head. So if you just notice there, it's 95. I'll change that to Helen. You can see that that's now dropped down to 75. So it will always update them based on who they've chosen. So that's how we do that, and that's how your clients will see that as well. Now, if you do have any questions, we do have a little Q&A option on your screen there that you can sort of ask me a question just by typing that in. Otherwise, shoot me through an email, like I said, to success@shortcuts.com.au. I'll reply back to you, and there'll be a link in my email, and you can book in a meeting with me well, either me or Liz, and we can have a chat, answer any other further questions that you may have as well. All right, so I hope you did get some answers from this little demo, and get to chat with you soon. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks.